something epic, you know? Where we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness, sort of a desperation. Through that desperation, we come addicted, sort of like the fiends we accustomed to serving. Where we feel we have nothing to lose, so we offer you. Well, we offer our lives. What do you bring to the table? One watching every nigga watching me closely. My shit is butter for the bread, they wanna toast me. I keep my head, both of them where they supposed to be. Holes to get you sidetracked and clap from close feet. I don't sleep, I'm tired.
Yo, I just came from outside.
Hey,
There's
folks.
crazy money out here. We ain't gotta break these shits down.
Hey, folks. Hey, folks. I should have said 10 p.m. Eastern Colored People Time. I should have known. I was actually working on, look at these beautiful, I got gifts from Amazon. Happy New Year, Karen. I got gifts from Amazon. They sent me like a 4-piece candle set. Patricia, hey, sweetheart. Hey, Trish, I'm coming home Tuesday, and I'll be home for like a week. So let's make it happen. So I got like a 4 set of scented candles, and yeah, so I'm lighting those up. And so I got the first draft of my film this Thursday, and so my director came over. Hey, Sam. And she came over so we could watch it and so we could take notes. And so she just left. So that's why I wasn't on right at 10 o'clock. That's what happened. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So I hope you all are having a good start to the year. We've got a little incense. We've got some candles. We've got a little tobacco for the ancestors and for the spirits, because the spirits like that tobacco. So we got a little of that. And we had a little music, a little Can I Live? So a little of that for the ancestors. All right. And, you know, we've got a little sage. We got all the accoutrement tonight. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Did you have a good new year? 2019 is, you know, it's starting. 2019 is not playing around with us. We got government shutdown happening. We've got, you know, I'm looking at this solar eclipse and this new moon, and really just looking at all of the pretense, all of the things have been stripped away at this point, yeah? It's like the curtain has been fully pulled back, and so now, you know, where do we go? Where do we go? How are we reacting to all of this that's happening? So we got a little of my oil. Got my reading glasses. And this is an oil that I made for spiritual and financial protection. And this is my Level Up oil. And so I like to put my Level Up oil on my throat chakra and actually on the back of my neck. So in some traditions, they say that this area is where people's generational curses come in. I'm not a generational curse person, but I do observe that that's also where the ancestors enter and where information enters. So I like to put a little oil there. And I need some music, but you got to be careful with this music on these social media platforms. And I also was moved to get a little glitter. Just a little glitter. I feel like I need a little glitter. I need a little glitter. So I got some. I need a little glitter. All right. So let's get started. So in thinking about this solar eclipse, we know that eclipses herald in endings, ends of cycles, and beginnings of new cycles. So we're going to use our usual 3 decks. We're going to use our Rider-Waite Tarot, obviously. That's going to give us sort of the main energy of this time. And then we will use the Andinkra symbol, the African Andinkra symbol deck, and that will give us some guidance on how to move with the energy that's been illuminated with the Rider-Waite. And then we will round it out, as we always do, with the fabulous I Ching to get that wisdom. The I Ching, we always close out with the I Ching. The I Ching always gives us like the last word on what's going on. And it's funny because the I Ching, sometimes it actually wraps up the reading. The I Ching just comes in and it just wraps up everything that the reading said. So we're gonna get started. Hey, Tea Flow Flowers. So I think that I need a bell. A bell and some Palo Santo. Soy flowers, soy flowers, soy flowers. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, what is Queen of Swords first out the deck? What is the energy of this new moon in Capricorn? New moon in Capricorn and the solar eclipse. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Oof, bottom of the deck. Chariot. All right. Queen of Swords. So starting off with the, what does it say? Listen. Oh, Greg Turner, listen. Let me put on my reading glasses. Starting off with the nurturing energy of the Queen of Swords. Very interesting. Queen of Swords, High Priestess, Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. So actually, I took some notes for this too. Actually, solar eclipse. So one of the things that I wanted to say, the solar eclipse will be working in conjunction with the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening on January 21st. And the eclipses will continue until July 2nd, 2019. So we have this solar eclipse tonight and last night, and then we have January 21st, we have a lunar eclipse, and then July 2nd, we have a solar eclipse, okay? So this energy will be taking us through for a while. So Queen of Swords energy. So for me, in thinking about all the things that happened this weekend, coming off of the new year and starting off this new year and coming right into the documentary that many of us watched this weekend, and then having this Queen of Swords be the first card out the deck. What's coming to me actually is the beginning of the return to the divine feminine and the ripping off of bandages, the painful ripping off of bandages, and the painful exposing of lies that are necessary in order for us to come into full Queen of Swords energy. In order for us to really be able to balance the feminine aspects and the masculine aspects that reside in all of us, certain painful truths need to happen. Thinking about the Queen of Swords, when these cards come up, these cards can be an actual person. These cards can be the querent, the person who's asking the question, or this card can be the energy that's needed. And so for me, what I'm looking at is in these sort of entering into this actual turbulent time, and I typically don't use that language, but entering into that turbulent time, the energy of the Queen of Swords is needed. The energy of the divine feminine is needed. The nurturing of the Queen of Swords is needed. The next card that fell out of the deck is the High Priestess. The High Priestess lives in between worlds. This is a person that is in tune with their intuition. This is, the High Priestess is an energy of truth. The High Priestess is not obviously an energy of lies. And so we are no longer able to have the benefit of telling untruths to ourselves at this time. Things that we were able to do before, we will no longer be able to do. And so going into this year, going into these next several months, because eclipses cover several months, the energy lasts for several months, we will not be able to do the things that we have been able to get away with in the past. We will have to completely change our ways of being, and the spiritual way is really the only way. Learning to walk between worlds really is the only way at this time. And so right out the gate, folks are going to be hearing more messages. And unlike before, folks are, this new moon is actually going to give people the strength and the courage to be this person and to be this person. The energy of this eclipse is going to push you forward in a good way. So for me, when I woke up this morning, I was at my wit's end. I was super upset. I was, what have I been doing with 18 years of my life, dedicating my life to service, particularly in violence against women, and then to be confronted with people who still doubt women and have little compassion for women and women's stories, particularly Black women. And so I really woke up, I was just like, wow, what have I done with the past 18 years of my life? I feel like my work has been for nothing. And went through this whole thing, tears, everything. And then I went out and I was outside, and then I just felt this sense of freedom, because once you pull back the curtain and you see things the way they really are, then you can really move. Then you can really be your best. Then you can really do the things that you need to do. But when we are deceiving ourselves and we're not listening to our messages, we're really holding ourselves back. And that's what the readings up until, I would say right up until the end of the year, that's what most of the readings were. And so now here we are in January 6th, top of the year, and we're coming in with the Queen of Swords energy. We're coming in with the Queen of Swords energy. We know that swords has to do with ideas. Swords are identified with air energy. And so we're coming in with balance, trying to balance. We're coming in with the choice of to balance or not to balance. This whole next 3 months or so, I would say, is going to be about balance. Your ability to balance the quote unquote light and the light and the dark sides of yourself, even. You may even need to revisit your own shadow side and start doing some shadow work over these next 3 months or so. So we still also have time, as we are in the new moon, we have time to write down all the things that we want to attract, right? I would recommend doing that either tonight. I'm going to do that when I get off this computer, and or tomorrow, right? At the end of the year, we did our release, right? We did our release, and now we're into what we want to attract, what we want to pull in, right? But we want to attract from a high place, and we have to have this intuition in check. We have to tap into this secret side of our nature. We have to tap into this shadow side of our nature so that we can take advantage of this Ace of Swords, new beginnings, new ideas, new thought processes, new ways of being in the world, right? Which brings us to our Chariot, which is victory. So ultimately, nothing bad bad is an interesting concept, but nothing bad can happen once you know the whole truth. Once you know the whole truth, you can be the queen. You can't be the queen if you are in a space of deception, of self-deception, right? So this is actually a really good read. New doors are definitely opening. New opportunities are definitely opening. People from the past coming back and offering new opportunities. And so what that's going to mean is some folks may even have to go back and make amends with folks so that they can be ready for this new energy. Yeah, Queen of Swords, High Priestess, Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. Wow. That's really good. That's really good. I'm going to see what the African and Dinkra deck says, and then I'm going to circle back around to this. That is some good. And it could be because we're at the top of the year and folks are trying their best to be new. This could also be the benefit of work that you actually did all last year. You know, some of those things that you put into place, some of the meditations that you did last year, some of the ways that you decided to put yourself first last year, some of the promises that you made to yourself, some of the changes around, I gotta put my glasses on, powerful stuff. And the shadow examination started a few weeks ago. I 100% agree. I agree. You know, we and me, I definitely was a person who was, for many, many years, I was a person who was saying, oh, there's only one power in the universe, and everything is good, and this and that. And I completely shied away from the shadow side. I really did not want to hear anything about it. I wanted everything to be of angelic proportion, and I carried myself that way for a really long time. And I think it was good in a way to carry myself like that, because what we put our energy to grows. And so a lot of slings and arrows that came my way, I think I was able to duck and dodge, because I was like, there's only one power in the universe, nothing can get in. But I also think that I was very naive in that thinking. And once I started to look at the shadow, I was able to look at things from a higher perspective. And I think that is also the energy that's coming through and the message that's coming through. You know, no matter what happens, no matter what messages we get, no matter what happens with the government, no matter what is happening in our families, you know, there's a spiritual answer to every problem, quote unquote problem. And I think I said this last month, as manifestors, we should be able to think ourselves out of any problem, right? As manifestors, we should be able to go high and look at things from a high perspective and look at things from a spiritual perspective. So when my friend was here a few minutes ago and we were talking about the whole R. Kelly situation, one of the things that I was saying to her is, and one of the things that I've been thinking about, is the ways that sex moves and sexual energy moves this world forward, and the way that that how it drives everything in so many ways. And so what I was saying to her is, as we were talking about people saying that there was a bed in the recording studios and this and that and the other thing. And as I was thinking about this from a spiritual perspective, I was thinking about sort of the energy of sex, particularly sex with young people. And a lot of the reasons why people want to have sex with children is because they want that youthful essence. They want that young energy. And I was just thinking, wow, you have a bed here and you have a studio here. And so you are taking the energy from that person and you are transmuting it right into the music that's being made. And then you're putting that energy, this is completely off topic, by the way. You're taking that energy and you're putting it into the music, and then you're putting this music out into the world. And then when you think about a song like Step in the Name of Love, or I'm going to use that first. When you think of a song like that that was played at weddings, a wedding is a ritual. When you think of something like I Believe I Can Fly being played at a graduation is a ritual. And so when you take that music and you plunk that music down, the music was made during a ritual. And then you overlay that ritual into something like a wedding. And I hope this comes through clear. And then people come to a wedding with their spiritual energy. And then of course you have the people that are getting married and their spiritual energy. And all of that, it's a big ritual. And you are growing that energy. And you are sending that energy out into the world. Because what my friend kept saying and what people keep saying is, how is this stuff able to happen? How does this stuff keep happening? And I've been saying for many, many years that this is a spell, that people are under a spell. Nothing else makes sense. You're under a spell, and the spell gets more powerful because thousands and thousands and thousands of people are engaging in it. It is a collective activity. Just like when people talked about curses, and one of my mentors said to me, a curse isn't somebody sitting at a cauldron like, no, a curse is a negative thought that's thrown your way. It's negative words that are thrown your way over and over again. It's your own negative thinking that you say over and over again. So then you put that negative energy on yourself. And so this energy has grown. And it's connected to memories and times and people's lives. And so it's hard to break that. Because if I leave that behind, what else do I have to leave behind, right? So that's my thought on that. And so what we're seeing and what we're witnessing in so many ways, whether it's what's happening in the government or what's happening in our country, all of the things that we believed in are being pulled away from us. All of the mythology that we've taken part in, benefited from, are pulled away. And we're all being challenged. All of our shadows are being challenged. When everything else is pulled away from you, what do you have left? You have your spirit. You have your intuition. When everything else is pulled away from you, sometimes you have no choice but to get quiet. And in that quiet, you are able to receive the gifts from the divine. I said this last month because I think we had some nice aces last month as well. And I said this last month that for me, this hand that comes out, this is the hand of the divine. This is a divine gift. This is a divine gift. But if you're so stuck in illusion, you're not going to be able to receive that gift. Sometimes everything has to be stripped away so that all we have is this high priestess energy. All we have is our own spiritual energy. That's it. So many of us are upset because we want protection. We want this, we want that. Our protection is in our own ability to nurture ourselves and to nurture those we love. That's our protection at this point. That's our key to victory. That's our door to victory. And so sometimes we have to take these losses. We have to, because this is the way we've chosen to evolve in this moment. You know, many of us still have to evolve through pain. We're not at a place where we can just evolve to evolve. And so we line up for the hard lessons, and we've had the hard lesson. And we have nice Queen of Swords energy. We have some nice rewards coming. We have some nice victories coming. Okay. So the Andinkra symbol deck is 5 tufts of hair. M. Puen Num. M. Puen Num. I love these cards. I love these cards. So this particular Andinkra symbol, 5 tufts of hair, is a symbol of priestly office, embodiment, or lofty duty to a desired goal, and loyalty. It represents a traditional hairstyle of joy that was worn by priestesses. So I just feel like this whole, for me, I feel like this whole message is from our guides and from our ancestors to again continue to step into our royalty. I mean, we've got a Queen of Swords, we've got a High Priestess, we've got another, important figure here, and then we've got 5 tufts of hair. So it's all here. It's all here. It's all here for us. Where's the I need my book for this. Because these the Andinkra symbol deck and the I Ching, these are still new to me, so I'm still learning these, so I have to read these. 5 tufts of hair. Whew. Interesting times. Fortitude, readiness for life's challenges, strength. Discover the many ways to wear your royalty. How are you choosing to represent your goodness within? Do not hide from your birthright. Additional meanings. Fix your crown. Take joy in your appearance. See, believe, and celebrate your goodness. We got this card before. Let me read this again. Fortitude, readiness for life's challenges, and strength. Discover the many ways to wear your royalty. How are you choosing to represent your goodness within? Do not hide from your birthright. Do not hide from your birthright. Fix your crown. There's a crown here. This dude has a crown as well. High Priestess has a crown as well. Fix your crown. Take joy in your appearance. See, believe, and celebrate your goodness. So we've already said that eclipses are the end of a cycle. So whatever you've been doing before this is the instruction. This is the instruction going forward. This is going to be the energy that carries us to the spring. This eclipse energy is going to carry us to the spring. We've got eclipse after eclipse after eclipse. So we need to be stepping into 2019, which I think I might have said the end of the year, with greatness. We've done lots and lots of hard work together. There's more challenges to come, but we need to gather ourselves and gather our fortitude. How do we gather our fortitude? By getting in silence, by listening to our intuition, by embracing spirituality in a new way, in a way that you might find a little scary, a little intimidating, but that is the way. That is the way. Dig into that shadow energy and stay open and look for and expect the victory of the Ace of Swords and the Chariot. That's very exciting. Let's see what this, I like it. The last read, I feel like there was a lot of high drama and intrigue, maybe because it was the end of the year. But this is actually a nice, easy, straightforward read. If folks have questions, you can put it in the chat. Okay, so we got number 12. This is actually a nice read, man. They're like, y'all got this. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, so this particular hexagram, number 12, stand still. When harshness and darkness prevail, even the best people may withdraw from society to avoid being corrupted. By protecting themselves rather than actively working for the good, they allow people with negative purposes to seize power. Y'all. In time, passivity can become stagnation, and the will to fight is extinguished. Heaven and earth do not unite. Stand still brings stagnation. So, put on your crown, embrace your royalty, even if you don't feel royal, even if you feel like I felt this morning, like, oh, what have I done? Oh, I've wasted my time. Nobody cares about women. Nobody cares about Black women. The energy says different. The energy says different. So the message is for all of us to fortify ourselves, to dig into our deepest, deepest, deepest parts of ourselves, to find that queen energy, to embrace that queen energy, that Queen of Swords energy, to work with our thoughts, okay? To work with our thoughts. Maybe that's something we want to, as we do our welcoming in exercise, maybe what we want to do between this new moon and the full moon, it's going to happen in a couple of weeks, is maybe we want to write down what new thoughts we want to have. You know, maybe 5 new ways of thinking about things around a particular subject. You know, that could be something that we could actually do between this new moon and the full moon. And we can utilize the energy of the moon as the moon is getting fuller and fuller, and the energy is, is waxing and waxing and waxing, meaning that energy is building, right? And so maybe we can work on our thoughts. Maybe we can work on embracing this Queen of Swords energy, you know. And if you don't know how to do that, you know, I definitely believe in dream work. You can write it down on a piece of paper. You know, how can I embrace new ways of thinking? How can I nurture myself in a better way? How can I take care of myself in a better way? These are all questions you can ask. How can I trust my intuition? One very simple way of learning about your intuition or working with your energy is to go into a place and see how you feel. See how you feel, you know. Go into a grocery store and see how you feel. Or pay attention to how you feel when you go into your office versus when you leave your office. And see where you feel those feelings, right? When people are talking to you, when people are saying things to you, where is it hitting you? Is it hitting you in your stomach? Are you feeling fluttery in your stomach? Or when you think about certain subjects and you want to say certain things, right? Are you feeling it in your throat? Is your head hurting? Is your ear ringing, right? It's time to wake up to these things. If we didn't learn anything from this documentary that we saw this weekend, this group ritual that we witnessed and went through together, it's that it is time to wake up. It is time to wake up. It's time to, so many of those folks said, well, I felt like something wasn't right, but I decided to do da 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 da. Well, I heard stories, but I decided to ba 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 ba. Right? It's time to listen to our bodies and find different ways of listening, right? Listen with our whole body. Okay? We need to do that because if you don't, you're not going to recognize this energy when it comes. You're not going to recognize the divine ideas that you get, okay? Because you'll be clouded. And that's just going to stall your victory. That's just going to stall your victory. So that's a very easy way of paying attention to energy, seeing how you feel. Also, you could look into, how you get your messages, right? So meaning, how are your other senses working? Do you hear messages? Because I hear messages, right? I hear voices, right? Some people feel things. Like I said, they feel things in their stomach. They feel things in their neck. Some people outright hear things. Clairaudience, I think it is. Clairsentience is touching, I believe. And then vision, right? People who see things. Some people see things. Some people smell things, right? So really paying attention to how do you get your messages, and then do more of that. Do more things to encourage that. I think that's probably it, right? I think that's probably it. I think those are some very clear ways of working with energy in a different way. We already know that staying stagnant, the I Ching told us we can't stay stagnant. The I Ching told us we can't stay stagnant, and we already know that the solar eclipse is about endings and new cycles, and we already know it's January 6th, and all kinds of rugs and carpets are being pulled out from under us right before our eyes. right? So stagnation is not an option. The I Ching then already told us that if we stay stagnant, evil people win. So we're all being called to be this Queen of Swords. We're all being called to be this High Priestess, right? We're all being told that new ideas, energies, opportunities, thoughts, ways of being in the world are accessible to us now. That's the other thing. Things that were not accessible before will be accessible now. Doors that were closed before will be open now, okay? Victories that seem so far off will be available now. But as always, we got to do the work. We got to do the work. Okay? We got to know when to speak and when to be quiet. That's all I got. That's all I got. Let me see what I have in my little notebook here. If I have anything else. My reading glasses have disappeared. Let's see. New moon, Capricorn, partial solar eclipse. Oh, Uranus went direct in Aries today. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so lots of stuff going on. Lots and lots of stuff going on. And so I actually have, oh, interesting. I already did my banishing ritual though. Uranus direct. New moon, Capricorn, partial solar eclipse. Okay. And then what else is happening? Let's see. We go into Aquarius on January 20th, which is a Monday after next. So that'll be my next reading. And that is also a full moon, the full moon in Leo on the 21st. So I'll probably be combining those two. I'll probably be doing a full moon in Leo and Aquarius starting video on the same day on Monday. So that should be fun. Or maybe I'll do it Sunday because maybe I'll do it Sunday too. Yeah, maybe I'll do it Sunday. We'll see. I'll let you know. But thank y'all. If you have any questions about the reading or any questions at all, Facebook inbox me like you've been doing. For people who are in New York, it looks like I will be teaching another class on on Saturday the 26th at Heal House. So I'll be doing another movement exercise and I'll be doing readings and all of that. So once I get those dates solid, I will let y'all know. But yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up. If you want to have more questions about the tarot, hit me up. If you have questions about astrology, hit me up. That's it. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see y'all in a couple of weeks. Love you. Bye.